My mind is full. um, just dealing with SpaceX and Tesla and then family matters. I mean, there are a few areas. I mean, I have some. I think at some point in the future, it'd be interesting to take a look at fusion. That's a tough problem, and it's something that I think we could solve. But it would. I mean, I think humanity could solve that problem, but it is a very tough one. And maybe there's something where I could be helpful there. But that's just completely speculative. I mean, it could be totally wrong. Success may not be one of the possible outcomes. Fusion, yeah, fusion. I think some scale is needed for fusion, probably. Although there's some ideas for having smaller scale fusion. I'm not talking about cold fusion, but sort of kind of fusion at sort of a nanoscale, if you will, like basically very small amounts of fusion in a little container. But it is a very hard problem. And then I have this sort of idea for an electric plane, which I think could be pretty cool. Electric supersonic plane. So it is a lot of batteries. So nobody says that's what I'm doing. If you ask me what a split second of I'm like, okay. I've been thinking a lot about the plane one, more than I should. Actually, I try to ban that from my mind. I'll talk to you about it. So I got to stop myself from thinking about that one because that's a very exciting one. You know, Tesla does use robotics to a limited extent in its production today, particularly on the battery pack side, because you've got so many cells, almost 7,000 cells, that some robotic assistance is important in making the battery pack. And we'll certainly see a lot more of that as Tesla scales up. So robotics makes a big, it's great for mass manufacturing. For space exploration, obviously we've seen great dividends played by robotics as well with the Mars exploration rovers. There's a really big rover going called Mars Science Laboratory, and that's about the size of like a Volkswagen. So I mean, I think there's a lot of room for robotics in a lot of fields, and that'll increase and continue in both automotive and space and other areas. But at the end of the day, you know, I think we still need to make life multiplanetary. It can't just be sort of sending droids out there. So I think robotic exploration, robotic preparation, but we also need life going beyond Earth as well. I think it's great to incent outcomes rather than it's great to make bets on approaches, but it's also good to incent outcomes. And ultimately, you care about the outcome, not the approach. And that's the good thing about prizes, is they don't try to rely on some panel of experts to figure out what the approach is that's going to work, because often those panels of experts are not the people who are going to figure out the innovations that result in the outcome you want. And that's basically why you have prizes. And as far as the X Prize is concerned, there's an automotive X Prize, there's a genomics X Prize for low-cost sequencing of genes. There's the Google Lunar X Prize, which SpaceX is trying to help with a little bit by offering. The only discounted launches we offer are for the Google Lunar X Prize, actually. So there's a bunch of stuff happening there, and I think it's a good model and should be emulated more.